cancer diagnosis turns into a family diagnosis. Can you relate to that? Have you ever wondered how in the world are we going to do this? If you connect with that, please take a listen in, and I'll share how my son and his 4 siblings and we as a family walked through 3.5 years. No fancy degrees, no special letters behind my name, just a mom in the trenches with her family, learning how to do the hard things. And one thing I learned is when you hear that diagnosis of it's cancer, it not only affects that single person, it affects the whole family. It becomes a family affair. And I don't know about you, but I found through our walk with cancer that I worried about my healthy children as much as I did my sick one. So I'm here to share what we were able to hold on to as a family, to grow together, to learn together, and to become a strong, united front. The first and very, very most important thing that I learned was to tap into the resources that you will find available through your hospital. They have people there, they have staff there to help you, to support you, to meet you and your other children wherever they are. You know, depending on where your other children fall in their age range, depends on how they're going to be handling a lot of the things that are going to be coming at you. So really lean in to the circle of people that are going to surround you during treatment, to have them guide you to those specific resources that will help your child based on where they are in their age. I also stayed vigilant, and at times I wish I would have been more vigilant about seeing each one of my kids and their needs. I am all for counseling, therapy, call it whatever you need to call it, but having that outside person that your other kids can talk to, because often they may not want to put that back on you. Finding them a resource where they can express maybe things that they're going through, their fears, their uncertainties, their anger, all the things. Lean into asking for some additional help for your other kids. We tapped into something that was so fantastic for all the siblings of my kiddo that was facing cancer, and that was called Super Sibs. And they still talk about it today, all these years later. And Super Sibs paid specific attention to each one of the siblings. They received cards in the mail and trophies and medals, and the conversations were just with the siblings. Whether you can find something like that locally, or even put a friend to that task who can just have eyes on the other kids and drop them some love notes in the mail, or leave them special little surprises at the front door to help them feel seen when there's so much circling over your kiddo that isn't feeling well and has been diagnosed. Something else that I found to be so critical during our 3.5-year walk was open communication with my kids. This is all relevant to what age they were, and it looked a little different for each one of them, but they knew there were no secrets. They were up to date on what was going on. Again, age relevant. It didn't leave them guessing or going to bed at night wondering, because they knew where we were and exactly what their brother was having to face that very next day, perhaps in treatment or clinic that week, what it was going to look like. We made it a family affair. And they came along, they came into treatments, they wore masks when their brother needed to be wearing a mask, they wore bandanas when their brother lost his hair, and they became a strong, united front. And together they faced that monster. One thing that was so special, and still is, if I were to be completely honest, is that special one-on-one time with your other kiddos. Carving out that time. Maybe it's during nap time. Maybe they get to stay up a little bit later to have time with mom. Again, all of this becomes age relevant, but just that one-on-one time where everything else is put away. There's no noise coming at you, and you are able to see your child and be present. And in return, they will be able to feel you and your presence or interest, love they are craving from you at the same time. If any of this sounds familiar, or you want to tap into some more resources that I learned along the way, please check out my videos below.